All right, it's Mark and Ann. We're back again on episode 3. How you doing today, Ann?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing good. You're having
Good.
some family time with your kids and grandkids.
Absolutely. We've done putt-putt golf and went to see Inside Out 2 and great movie. So yeah, we've had
Excellent.
a good week. Had a great
Good
week.
deal.
Yeah.
Well, what are we talking about today?
We are going to talk about home health. We're going to talk about a little bit how versus home care. And we'll touch a little bit on hospice. I'm not going to go a lot into hospice because we've got a guest next week that we'll talk about doing that.
That's right, and we'll
Yeah,
we'll bring that up at the end of the show. So,
absolutely.
with that said, let's count this down and let's get going.
Sounds good.
All right, off we go. And
Hey,
let's get started and let's open up. And you want to start with home health first?
sure. Yeah, we'll talk about that a little bit.
Okay.
Hi, everybody. Glad you're joining us today. So, talking a little bit about home health. With home health, a lot of people, that's what they choose. For instance, if they're in the hospital,
Hmm.
and they get ready to go home and they don't want to go into skilled nursing like we talked about last week, a nursing home for short-term rehab, that kind of thing, or they don't go to a rehab hospital. A lot of people just want to go home.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people that have knee replacements, that have hip replacements, that are okay to go home and they'll refer them from the hospital. um, Even if you go to a skilled nursing home setting and do short-term rehab, when you go home, they're going to refer you home with home health. Takes a doctor's order to do that.
Okay. All right.
But when you get home with home health, what you're going to get is you're still going to get some skilled nursing services. That's what they do. That's what home health does.
Okay.
We have some great home health companies out there too. And they'll have speech therapy, occupational therapy, and physical therapy, just like what you were getting. If you're going home from the hospital, then you'll have that continuation of the therapy you had at the hospital will go home with you. They also have RNs on staff that will come out, and they do have certified nursing assistants that come out to help you with your bathing, those kind of things.
Hmm.
So you have people that come in and do all that for you. If somebody goes home with a surgical wound, for instance, then you're going to have that RN coming in to check on you and to check the wound and to look at those kind of things. And then they'll do therapy at your house. And the thing I love about home health myself, I did it a couple of times. Mama did home health. She
Right.
actually did it at my house one time when she was staying with us. Um, but I really love home health because you are with everything that you deal with every single day in your house. And the therapists are, which I'm a huge therapy fan,
Hmm.
um, the therapists are so good at looking around your home and helping you to learn how to maneuver in and out of the restroom.
Right.
There may be, as you go around your dining room table, maybe there's a cabinet that they suggest, hey, maybe we should move that.
Yeah.
Just to make the path easier, things you just don't think about because it's your
Right.
environment. You're in it every day. But it's different when you've gone home after surgery, after any stay at the hospital, anything like that. Okay.
Right.
So, even if you are at home and something has happened where, well, I don't know, say you've got pneumonia and you didn't end up maybe in the hospital, but you do need a little extra help and that kind of thing. You go to see your primary doctor, maybe they give you an order and you get home health at home. Same kind of thing's going to happen though. They're going to come in and, after you've gone through something like pneumonia, something like that, being active, moving, those kind of things are so important. So home health is really great. It's a wonderful source to have there and resource to come in and to help you with all the skilled things that you need to be doing to get you better.
Like you said, it's basically a skilled nursing version at your
Yeah,
home.
it
And I
is.
think that transitions over, to where we're saying versus home care is home care would be more of a lighter side to where they don't have, I guess
Right.
we'd say licensed nurses that's able to, be licensed to do deeper levels of care. Is that true? So
That's true. Yeah, that's true.
home care
So
would be more of a CNA.
home health is going to bring you in the skilled piece. They do. They
Yeah.
bring you in all the skill piece and all those things. Home care, on the flip side, is going to be able to, they can help you with your dressing and grooming, and
Mhm.
they can come in and do those kind of things. But they also are going to do a little more like your um, helping you with cooking and helping you
Okay.
with cleaning and doing some more personal things like that. Both are excellent services, to have and to reach out to. One important factor of it, of course, always is the payment side.
Yep.
So your home health, Medicare is going to cover home health.
Okay.
Um,
Good point. Good point.
yeah,
So Medicare, home health, Medicare, no home care.
right.
Yeah.
But so home care is typically going to be private pay. Um,
Okay.
there are companies out there that will provide you with people coming in, typically like a certified nursing assistant or something like that, and they're going to provide them coming in, and they're going to help you, but it's going to be private pay. Or there are some home cares out there that will take Medicaid.
Right. But not as many.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I happen to know a real good one in my area, and they do
Mhm.
Medicaid. Um, that's helpful to people because it can get expensive. It's just like we've
Yeah.
talked about just having personal caregivers come in. That gets expensive. When you talk about having somebody to come, a lot of people want to just go home. They don't want to go to skilled nursing at a nursing home.
Yeah.
Right, you're going to go home with home health, but you need somebody 24/7. And if you don't, home health is not going to do 24/7. Home care can provide you somebody at night, but it's going to be private pay unless it's someone that takes the Medicaid. So those
Okay.
are
So
for
if you're so if it's being understood correctly, home care is not going to be available for 24/7, right? It's just going
home
to
care can provide
right. But so you would need
24/7.
to have
Home
a
health will
combination of
not.
you'd
Yeah,
have to have a combination of the two.
you would, and you
Yeah.
can.
Okay.
You
That's a good
can.
point. That's a
Yeah.
good point though.
And Medicare is going to cover that home health that's coming in to give you the skilled services and doing what
Right.
you need there.
Yeah.
It's going to be private pay for any kind of, people always called them sitters in the past and that kind of
Yeah.
thing. So home care is going to provide you people that can come in and help you with, the grocery shopping. I mean, come on, how easy is it nowadays? You can get Walmart or Kroger or Publix or any of them to deliver to your house.
Yeah.
Through Instacart, it's so you can do those kind of things, but you
You can
might
have
need
fast
help.
food delivered to your home now of all.
I
It's
know, I
just
love it.
crazy.
I know, you never have to leave home. Um, that was one of
So
the greatest
is the
discoveries I made years ago.
yeah, if
You know,
someone's gonna need, if when you're getting discharged from a hospital or whatever, that needs, like you're saying, the home health has to be ordered by the discharge.
yes,
So
yes, the
whether it's
doctor has to write an order for home health. Yeah,
so the doctor has to go, whether it's being discharged to another rehab hospital, or if you opt out from that and you want to be discharged to home health. Instead of
at
like
home.
there's the choice, but the doctor has to, you have to say, the family has to say, I don't want to be discharged to a rehab hospital. I want to be discharged home in home care. Is that
Yeah.
proper?
And
Yeah.
they do. Families will
Yeah.
tell them at the hospital. The discharge planners are going to work with the families if you're in a hospital setting to do that. They're going to work with them. If you're at a nursing home, going home after short-term rehab, the social worker is going to come in and work with you about that. They're going to ask you if you've ever dealt with any other home health company, and if you've got a preference. If you don't, they're going to tell you several that they deal with. Hospitals the same way. And they're going to give you the referrals on who you want to go with. And then
Yeah.
they'll send that referral to them. Now, from a skilled nursing home setting, I do think we should touch on this a little bit, is that so that people know, once they get that order to go home with home health, then the social worker is going to work with the home health agency to set up all the equipment. The home health agency is going to get everything. So if you need a walker going home, then you're going to get the walker. If you need a shower bench, then they're going to provide that for you at home. They're going to make sure you get that all through the doctor giving the order for all these things, which is simple. But they're going to have all that set up for you. And home health is going to provide you with all that. They will even provide, in some circumstances, a hospital bed if a hospital bed is needed. They'll provide all the equipment.
Yeah, not to get ahead of you, I know you'll touch on it. We'll definitely go deeper in the next episode, but that's similar to hospice, that they'll provide the equipment all, but we'll get
and so
to that later.
You brought up hospice. I mean, let's touch on it, because hospice is another thing that I think people sometimes fail to realize, that going home. Now, if you're going home from a hospital and you've had pneumonia, you're going home, you're able to get up and walk around and you're going to do and whatever, then going with home health and all that is important. You're not going to do home health probably in hospice at the same time, but hospice is going to provide the nurses coming in. They're going to provide aides coming in. Hospice is, and again, this is something next week. I'll just go ahead and say, we've got Scott Watkins with Family Hospice coming on. Right. And he'll talk a lot more about what hospice provides and versus palliative care. But hospice coming home with you, or just bringing hospice in at home, that keeps somebody in their setting. And Scott's going to touch on some of the myths about hospice. So I don't want to, jump in and steal his thunder on what he's going to do. But hospice can be very beneficial for somebody at home. And that doesn't mean that that's somebody that is at end of life within a 6-month time frame necessarily. There may be other things going on with them, but hospice can be very helpful at home as well. They aren't going to provide skilled therapy and those kind of things. So when you need skilled therapy, home health is the way to go. Yeah. When you need something skilled, even a wound, and you need an RN coming in and those kind of things, then home health is the way to go.
And hearing you share and talk, it gets back to what you and I discuss a lot of why are we doing this show?
Yeah.
Like, what's the point of the show? It's so complicated out there to where to be able to help families go, wow, okay, thank you. I had no clue how to even begin to ask the questions, because you're hearing home health, home care, hospice, palliative care. And this is just a tiny little sliver topic of all the other stuff that has to be faced.
Yeah.
Right?
Exactly.
So
exactly.
Having it distinguished a little bit is really good. And knowing that you do have options, like instead of being sucked into the vortex of crisis, hospital, you're being told they need to discharge, that you do have a say in going, hey, I heard about, you're suggesting that we send them to skilled nursing. Can we do that at home? Now you can.
Yeah.
And you
and here's what I would love to see. Okay. In our perfect world for you and I, with doing this podcast, I hope that people will continue to reach out, but I hope that more and more, when you have a loved one, because at some point you're going to be affected, someone is going to be affected with all of this. As we age, as you have people in your life that age, your friends may have it going on with someone in their life. And it doesn't matter if it's your mom, your dad, your aunt, your uncle, your grandparents. I've seen it all. I mean, I dealt with an 18-year-old a year ago that had his mom and his grandmother, and ended up with a sad situation and called us, reached out for help. And he's 18 years old. He didn't have a clue what to do. And I was so thankful he reached out. So I really wish people would, as soon as that whoever is going into the hospital, reach out to CareQuest, reach out to us. Let us help. Let us explain some of this, because I can tell you, I think I did it last week, and you popped in and clarified what I was talking about, because in healthcare, we love to talk in acronyms.
Yeah.
I used to tell
Yeah.
the staff when we would do family meetings when I was still working, I would tell them, kind of not to sound condescending to anyone, but dumb it down a little bit.
Yeah.
Families don't know. You can't sit here and
Yeah.
talk in those acronyms to people. So
Yeah.
reach out and let us help. Let us help guide you with, we can put you in touch with, I can put you in touch with home health. I can put you in touch with home care. You and I both, we know a ton of people and have a lot of resources
Yeah.
to help with that. It doesn't have to just be the hospital gave me 3 choices, or they gave me this list of 10 companies out there and I don't have a clue who to choose. Then come to us and let us help you with who to
Yeah.
choose. It's not going to cost you a dime.
That's the point I was going to make, and we don't charge for it.
No, we
We
don't.
only get paid when we successfully are able to place someone.
Right.
And even
Exactly.
at that, we don't charge. But that's a
No,
good
no,
point.
that's not on the family to do that. So, to me, it's the best of both worlds. You're getting the resources you need, and you're not having to panic about the finances. We're going to hold your hand and walk you through that too.
Yeah, yeah.
You know,
You sit there and you think about the task of, who do I call for that service? Who do I ask for? Who do I speak to? What's a good company? Tons of questions, when you just need to focus on loving on your loved one. Like,
right?
just
Exactly.
focus on the crisis, and
Yes.
let us guide you through it and take that pressure off.
Yeah. And I
Because
think
it's a
even
lot to
more,
decide.
yeah, more importantly, just to point out, because there are companies out there that do a lot of what CareQuest can do as well.
Yep.
The key to that, to me, is that we're local. We're right here
Yeah.
in Georgia. We've got the Atlanta area, we've got West Georgia, we've got Middle and South Georgia. We've got it all covered. Just
Yeah.
reach out and let us help you with the next direction, because some of the other companies that are a little more national, some of those don't know our area like we do.
Correct.
We have
Yeah.
personal relationships in this
Yeah.
area.
Well, yeah, and that gets off is getting off in the weeds a little bit, but I think everybody, what I'm about to say, I think everybody has seen the stories of, having the hidden camera and the abuse and all. So
Yes.
you really got to know who you're dealing with. And unfortunately, this is true in any industry. The larger the company, the harder it is to have your
Yeah.
hands on your staff. And
Yes.
if you're growing so big so fast, then you're staffing people that maybe enough background checks wasn't done or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Maybe there's
Yeah.
somebody that they worked in a field that had nothing to do with helping a loved one, and they don't have the
Yeah.
patience or the knowledge of, how do I handle a dementia
Yeah.
patient. Anyway, you get it. So
I
wrap.
absolutely get it,
Yeah.
and
No,
that's
that's all
one
we're
reason
sharing.
that I love what you and I are doing, is because I
Mhm.
feel like we are getting information out to people, and abuse is one of those things that I really want to get planned. We've just got so many coming up,
Yeah.
so many good podcasts coming up with such great information coming out this month. But I do want to get on the books to talk about abuse. I want to talk
Yeah.
about abuse in nursing homes. I want to talk about abuse for elderly abuse.
Mhm.
That is a podcast that we will be doing to get information out to people. So stay tuned for that, please.
Yeah. Yeah.
Watch, subscribe so that you'll get notices, and just watch for us to do that. So,
Yeah. Oh,
but I
I
just
guess,
can't encourage people enough to reach out and let us help.
yeah. Wrapping it up. So when you sit here and we're talking about home health versus home care, of course, hospice is going to be covered in the next episode.
Yeah.
What would be the key differences of summarizing home health is and home care is best known for?
Home health is going to be best known for skill services. They
Okay.
are going to offer you the RN service. They've got the PT, OT, ST. So you're going to get all 3 of your therapies: the
Okay.
physical therapy, speech therapy, and occupational therapy. You're going to get all that with home health, and you're going to get an RN, and you're going to get an aide that comes out. Your Medicare is going to cover that, so there's no out of pocket cost to you.
Mhm.
And they're going to work with you they get approved through Medicare, just like most other, just like nursing homes and rehab hospitals and all that.
Mhm.
And they will know, and be able to give you all that information up front. They're going to come out and explain everything, but that's what you're going to get from home health.
And then
You're going to
home
get all the
care.
equipment. You're going to get all that provided to you through home health. Okay.
Okay. And then home
Home
care.
care is going to provide you with assistance at home. They can provide you with some of your bathing and some of those kind of things. They can provide someone to do that. Um, Back to home health, just a quick second that I didn't say. Home health is not going to do 24/7 care. They're
Mhm.
not. They're going to come in so many times a week, those kind of things. Home care can provide you somebody. They can give you people at night. The difference is it's going to be out of pocket, most of them. The majority are going to be private pay, and you're going to have to pay out of pocket for the people coming in. However, there are times that there are companies out there that Medicaid will cover some of that home care. So,
Mhm.
it's just a difference in that. You're not going to get your skilled care through home care. Although home care too, both of them are great services. It just depends
Yep.
on what you need and what you're looking for.
All right.
So,
And I
yeah.
could not have said it better. That's why Ann is here to properly explain all that. And so that will segue into our next episode where we'll take a deep
Excellent.
dive into hospice versus
Yes.
palliative care and debunking the myth. And Scott will be the one for that. Looking forward to that. So with that
Yeah.
said, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, share these videos, encourage people to come and subscribe to this channel because Ann and I have so many wonderful things coming that can help families navigate a very challenging time in their lives. And we're here to make a difference.
Yep.
So with that said, thank you, Ann. Wish you a good day. Wish
Thank
everybody
you.
else a good day and have a great weekend. And we will see you on the next show.